Hello everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be discussing the 12 most expensive dollars ever, basically looking at the most expensive prices that people have paid for a certain coin and denomination, and there's some really interesting backstories as to how these coins became one of these 12 most expensive dollars. So really looking forward to sharing with you. The coins will get up into the 8 figures. That means 10 million plus range. So there's some crazy American history here. Let's get started going with number 12. Coming in at number 12 is a Proof 1802 Draped bust dollar, and it's a really interesting coin because it was actually struck way later than the date would suggest. So they're believed that it was around 1832, but there were about 12 of these coins struck, and about 4 of them are still in existence today, and they're really pretty gorgeous. This one, graded at Proof 65, ended up selling for just below $1 million at $920,000, and the preservation again is impeccable. So that being combined with the fact that this was one of 12 coins that were struck, gives it its great price. Number 11, we have the 1884 Proof trade dollar. And the coins, the trade dollars, were never made to be used in the United States. They were made from 1873 to 1878 for regular use. They're one of my favorite coins. But then after that, from 79 to 85, they actually made them as proof coins solely for collectors, generally with mintages of under about 1,000 coins. And the last 2 years, there were almost none made. I believe in 84, there were only 10 of them made. So this is one of 10, and they may not all be around. This one has been preserved really nicely, obviously in a Proof 65 grade, and sold for $1,250, below $1 million, for a fair amount of money in January of 2014 at a heritage auction. A very similar coin here, coming in at number 10, is the 1885 Proof trade dollar, which is 1 year after the 84, but the 85 was very similar. You know the backstory, but it actually had only 5 of them minted instead of 10 from the year prior, so it's even rarer. And this one is a Proof 62. You can see some markings. It's not exactly a gorgeous coin. There are better examples known, but they haven't really sold, so that's why the price is only $1,006,250. One of those is estimated at being in the range of $3 to $4 million, and I'm not sure if all of them are accounted for. But an additional thought is that these coins were actually struck several years after 1885, kind of as a backstrike, which is a bit suspicious, but it could have happened, and there's no mint records as to when they were exactly produced. People, as I've mentioned before with the 1802, they've been striking coins ahead of what the actual year says, and that was a trend that would happen back then sometimes. Number 9 is the most expensive draped bust dollar known, and that is a 1795 special strike, and it has a grade of 66 by PCGS, and the price was $1,057,500, so very high price. About 40,000 of these were made, but this coin is so reflective that they realized that it had to have been prepared specially. And it wouldn't be, though, a proof because they weren't doing too many proofs back then. It wasn't really something that would happen. But since it is specially struck, it gets that special designation. That's neither proof nor business strike. Number 8, we have one of the rarest Liberty seated dollars. And this one was sold for over $1 million, and it had an additional $92,500 added onto its price tag at a 2003 Stacks auction. The grade is MS66, really well preserved, but the records from the U.S. Mint actually say that there weren't any of these made, though 12 of them actually do exist. So the thought is that they were maybe a memento of the laying of the cornerstone at the San Francisco Mint in 1870, and that these would have been just kind of made off the record as a result. However, this is the only one of those examples that was uncirculated, and 66, that grade is indicative of a really well preserved coin. So this has definitely been a good strike and one of the best seated Liberty dollars, most desirable available in the world. Number 7 is the 1796 Draped bust small date, and this one has a price tag of $1,175,000. And though records say that 80,000 of these were made, experts believe that it was less, and not only just a little bit less, but way, way less than that 80,000 number. And there were lots of different varieties, and the specific one that I'm looking at right here has the small date, small letters in the motto, and also is going to be therefore the rarest of all these 1796 Draped bust dollars. And that, combined with the excellent toning and the high grade that it garnered, an MS65 by NGC, means that it would sell for that much money in a 2013 auction. Number 6, we have the 1866 Proof Liberty seated dollar, probably going to be one of the most expensive Liberty seated dollars ever, though, in the future that may change, obviously. This one was a $1,207,500 Proof 63 coin sold in 2005, so it's been a while since this actually sold out of the Kennywood collection, but the mint made 725 of these in 1866 as proof, and they all had the motto, "In God We Trust," on the back of the coin. People think that this was made after 1866, perhaps in 1869 or 1870. Some mint workers used some of the old dies to do some fantasy coins for collector, and they left off the "In God We Trust." There's also similar occurrences in quarters and half dollars, but the coin that we're looking at here is one of 2 coins, and that's probably how it originated. But this is the only one that's not in a museum, so that's why the really, really high price tag, probably the most desirable of the seated Liberty dollars. Our next coin is more of just a spectacular coin that is really, really well preserved. There have been a fair amount of them made. This one is a PCGS MS66, but that is a 1795 flowing hair dollar with a price tag of $1,265,000. However, one of the interesting things is that this later sold for about $800,000, so a major, major loss, several $100,000 down the drain for its previous owner. However, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous coin, one of the most beautiful of its type, and the coin simply is a wonder to behold. The surfaces are really shiny and impeccable, and the strike is strong. So let's go to number 4. Number 4 is the 1804 Proof Draped bust dollar, and this is a class 3 coins. It's the Adams Carter specimen, and it sold for $2,300,000, so a major jump from the last one. But this coin was also probably made about 30 years after its date suggests, and was made to be presented perhaps to other officials or made for some high-profile coin collectors. There are 15 known 1804 Draped bust coins, and there are different classifications, class 1, class 2, class 3, and this is the most expensive of the class 3 ones. It's a proof 58, so there has been some wear that's occurred to the coin. So you can see here, I'm not sure if that's because of wear or if it was a weak strike, but the pluribus unum is pretty worn, as well as during different places on the design. Still a gorgeous one though, and it's known as the King of Coins, though as you may find out, that definitely has been dethroned as the king of the dollars, as it's only number 4 on our list. If you look a little bit ahead, the best 1804 coin was the Proof Draped bust class 1 dollar, and this one sold for almost double the last one at $4,140,000. This one this time being a Proof 68. This was sold actually in the last century, 1999, in a Bowers and Marina sale, and the coin is the best known out of all of the 15 specimens that I mentioned. The coin was actually received by Sultan of Muscat. He was given the coin in 1834. Very careful preservation. Something really interesting is that this was offered for sale in 2016, and the coin was bid all the way up to $10.81 million. So that would have made it the most valuable coin ever, and the bid did not meet the minimum reserve that the person was hoping for the coin. So if I was the person, I would have just taken that $10 million, but That's not what they were interested in do it, so it remains the number 3 and will not be able to eclipse the number 2 or number 1. Number 2 being the 1974 flowing hair dollar. This one priced in at $4,993,750, garnering a grade of PCGS MS66 plus. It was sold a few years ago in 2015 in Stack's Bowers auction off of Brent Pogue's collection. The Pogue collection being one of the well-known ones pretty much ever in coin collecting history. But the mint started the coins in 1792, and the 1794 was the first year that these big dollars were produced. And I guess somebody must have tucked it away for later, but the result is this spectacular coin. Under 2,000 of them were made to begin with, and it's really a great piece of American numismatic history. Also very similar, though, to number 1, which we're about to go to. Number 1 is the 1794 flowing hair dollar, and it's the only one. The W/P means with a plug. This sold for over $10 million, $16,875. Special 66 was the grade, and the reason that it's a special strike is that they're thought to have placed a small silver plug. At this time, most of the work was being done by hand in terms of the minting, and sometimes the coins, the planchets, would be a little bit off on their silver weight, and as a result they would put a little silver plug that they would then strike into the coin to ensure the proper weight. They would carve a little bit off of the coin if it was over the recommended amount, and this is the only known one that has a silver plug in it, and the coin is potentially believed to actually be the first dollar ever struck at the mint. So it's really, really incredible history, potentially the first ever made, and it was preserved so well. And that's the most expensive American coin ever made. Really special, and we'll see if it gets eclipsed. Maybe if that 1804 class 168 coin comes to auction, it'll go beyond that price, but this is for now a really cool coin to know about and appreciate as the best in American history. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay in contact with me on my Instagram, TreasureTownYT, Facebook, TreasureTown, or my website, TreasureTownYT.com. And I love receiving packages from you guys. I'll unbox them in a video once I get enough, and my address for that is TreasureTown, P.O. Box 201, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. So I'll see you on some of my other videos.